All right. So I figure I should let you guys in on where the gorilla comes from for me. Uh, you guys are always hearing gorilla this, gorilla that, gorilla gang, gorilla up, whatever. I figure I want to let you guys in on a little bit about what that means for me, because it's much more than just an angry animal or a big strong animal with big muscles that can lift whatever or do whatever. It's so much more than that. The gorilla for me is about it's about control. It's about calculation. It's about righteous anger and power, harnessed and used for the good. Um, it's also about love. It's about passion. It's about protection. It's about joy, peace, and probably most important for me, it's about provision. Provision for the people God put under my care, and my wife and my children, primarily. Um, yeah, as some of you guys may already know, um, I haven't always dealt with anger in the right ways. Uh, I've actually had quite a lifetime of struggle with dealing with anger and where to put it and how to handle it. Uh, they didn't give me. I used to have, when I was fighting. My nickname was the Assault. You guys can imagine where that came from. Uh, Multiple run-ins with the law, uh, multiple altercations in the streets, and getting in trouble and in and out of jail most of my life. And it all came to a head one day, my dealing with anger. Shortly after I retired from fighting, some of you guys may know, I fought professionally for a while. And fighting did a lot of great things for me. Wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys right now if it weren't for fighting. But one thing that it did for me that maybe wasn't so good was it gave me a place to let it out. It gave me a place to safely be angry, safely let loose, safely get a bit out of control, and it be normal, even even applauded or encouraged, and it felt good. Um, Fighting gave me a place to get out what I thought was this demon inside of me, right? And let me walk throughout the rest of the day without the monkey on my back. Uh, I can. We can go more into that one day, but it gave me a way to be normal. And when I retired, unbeknownst to me, that demon came back. That piece of me started to show itself again. But said, now I got nowhere to put it. I have no training partners that are willing to bleed with me. No no fight coming up. No grappling or wrestling practice that I know is going to beat every ounce of anything that I have left in me out. No, now I had to figure out how to handle it like the rest of the world does, like a damn adult. And it was getting the best of me. Multiple accounts of sideways anger. Sideways meaning uncontrolled, undirected, just whoever's around me gets an overflow of the shit that I got going on inside of me. And most of the time that's the people who are closest to you, right? Like my wife, my daughter, my son, my dad, some of my friends, they all got the brunt of, and still probably to this day get the brunt of me not dealing with anger the right way. And so yeah, I made a decision. I was like, well, shit, this can't keep going like this, because I got too much to lose. I got too much to lose, and it's not the person I want to be, man. I don't want to be some freaking ticking time bomb all the time, right? So right around that time, my buddy Scott gives me a call, and he's like, hey, the church is making me do this retreat, and you're doing it with me. And I trust Scott. I trust him with my life. He's a big piece of why I'm even sitting here right now. So I trust him, and I kind of like it when he grabs his nuts and kind of talks with some bass in his voice. So when he told me I'm coming with him, I was like, nice job. I think I'll go with you. So yeah, that's a little dig at him. But yeah, so I decided to go. So we show up, right? And it's kind of nerve-wracking. And prior to going, they gave me a phone call, right? Dude on the other line, super nonchalant, very like stoic, What do you want? He just asked me outright, what do you want? I was like, damn, what do I want? It took me a second to figure out what the hell I wanted. But I landed on, I wanted to be safe. Whatever that means, for you guys or for people out there, I wanted to feel safe. I wanted to feel safe for my wife to be around. I wanted to feel safe for my daughter to be around. I wanted to feel safe for my son, my employees, the people around me. I wanted to feel safe for myself. Sometimes I couldn't even trust myself. And so yeah, he's like, that was the end of the conversation, right? He asked me what I wanted. I came up with, I wanted to feel safe. Like, all right, cool. So the day comes, and we're going to this retreat. It's in Houston in July of all times to be in Houston. It was in July. So super hot, super uncomfortable. Didn't want to go at all. Show up, and one of the first things they do is they ask you to choose an animal that best represents you at this time. And like I said, man, like full of rage, full of anger, nowhere to put it once again. So I chose a dragon, a fire-breathing dragon, because I felt like at any moment, I could get super angry over the stupidest thing and just burn up everything around me. Every person, foe, ally, enemy, whatever, whoever, you will be run over in one form or another over my explosive anger, out of control anger. And so yeah, that was the animal that I chose, was a fire-breathing dragon. So I go through this weekend, and the weekend is crazy. I highly recommend it for any and everybody. And if you guys have questions about that, just email me or comment or whatever. But during this weekend, they push you, man. They pull you. They take you places that you never knew you'd go, and you never knew you actually wanted to go. And without giving away any details or anything, because it's such a powerful weekend that I truly believe in. By the end of this weekend, by the end of going down deep to see parts of myself that I didn't know were there, to finally fucking understand this piece of myself, right? Like this fire about me, this anger about me, finally understand what it was there for, why it was there, how important it was that it was there, and finally get me to actually understand and love this piece of me, right? This piece of me that's gotten me this far in life, this piece of me that got me through 10 years of fighting, 4 years in prison. I mean, it got me through so much, right? But I always treated it like the enemy. But throughout this thing, by the end of it anyhow, I didn't see it so much as the enemy. I saw it for what it was, an important piece of me that is mine to control, that is mine to let loose or harness, or however I choose to use it. I choose to use it, but it's mine, and I get to make the choice on how it gets used. So yeah, by the end of this weekend, this is where I'm at, right? And so one of the very last things is they asked me, so what animal would best describe you now? And right away, man, right away, it came to gorilla. I landed on gorilla. It's not like I did some crazy study on gorillas, or I've ever truly even liked gorillas particularly. You know, it's never been like my favorite animal or nothing. It just popped straight into my mind right away, no questions asked. And I've done a lot of thinking on why that is. You know, I went through this in 2015, so it's been a while. And I've thought about it a lot, man, and it makes perfect sense. The gorilla is power under control. It's this calm presence of protection and provision that can be trusted and can be counted on by each and every person in his pride. His anger is directed at any and anyone that would threaten his pride or get in the way of or whatever, infiltrate in any other way. But it's reserved for that reason. You know, maybe I'm wrong, who knows? Maybe gorillas do more fighting than that. But for me, when I look at the gorilla, I see protection, I see love, I see provision, I see integrity, I see power, and I see control, man. And that's what I want you guys to see when you see this gorilla, or you hear gorilla this, or you hear gorilla that. We ain't out here freaking, popping gang signs or popping gorilla gang this or gorilla gang that. It's about much more than that. It's about much, much more than that. So, yeah, that's my gorilla.